like in the 1800s, a fucking crazy man.
Yeah.
He's like talking to trees and like doing all this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to A Conversation with Colin. I'm Greg, and this is my roommate, Colin. Now, sometimes Colin says crazy stuff. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I reach into my random topic pile, pull it out, toss it at him, and we talk it out for your amusement. If you like that, like the video, subscribe to us on YouTube, and share us with your friends. Colin, are you ready?
Yes.
Today's topic of conversation is Colin has to assassinate a former world leader not named Stalin or Hitler. Who is it, and how does it change the world? This is from Chris Continues.
Whew. Two people come to mind. Two of them. One is George III.
This is the stick. Give me a shot.
Okay.
Give me a shot at it. I'm not going to do my normal thing.
Okay.
Is this the king who they wouldn't let him divorce his wife or whatever and stay in the church? No.
That was Henry VIII.
Damn it. It's close.
George III is the king of England from 1760 to 1820. He's king for 60 years.
Okay.
And he actually goes crazy in the last 20 years of his life. Like you should read about King George III.
Okay.
Like in the 1800s, a fucking crazy man.
Yeah.
He's like talking to trees and like doing all this. It's like so good. It's so good. But he was the king during the American Revolution, and was staunchly against the American Republic. So I think killing him would have let the more conservative group led by Edmund Burke in the Parliament kind of rise up. And we talked a little bit about this on a previous conversation with Colin, that there was a big group of people in England that were like, just let them go, and maybe they would have had a bigger voice, and we wouldn't have had to fight that war as long as we fought for 8 years.
Would killing him have made people not leave? Would we have not had in America? Would they have?
No, I'm saying like if he was assassinated in like 1777, then like we would have not, then like the more cooler heads would have prevailed in Parliament and stuff like that.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
And then the other person that comes to mind is Jefferson Davis. You know who Jefferson Davis is?
The name sounds familiar. I think he was Sammy Davis's father.
Right. Sammy Davis Jr.
You weren't a big fan of the Rat Pack.
No,
so you
no.
thought if they would have killed him.
Right.
No Sammy Davis Jr.
Jefferson Davis was the president of the Confederacy. And
we talked about him on the show before. That's how I know him. Okay.
And I think that Jefferson Davis was a senator, a United States senator.
Yeah.
And I think and there were plans to kill him. My senior capstone in college was about something called the Dahlgren affair. And that was about a colonel named Ulrich Dahlgren, who was an American soldier. And he was captured with multiple soldiers in Virginia, which right outside the capital, which was Richmond, the Confederate capital, with instructions from Abraham Lincoln to kill Jefferson Davis. And it was my whole paper went into that, like, no one really knows if it's true or not, like if it really happened and like what the paper said, and there's all this shit. So my whole paper was about that, and it really did happen. And I think that, and by the way, that a lot of people think that because that happened, that was what convinced folks to try to go after Abraham Lincoln later, including John Wilkes Booth. But I think that if we killed Jefferson Davis, that would have cut the knees off the Confederacy like very quickly.
So you'd already let him be president of the Confederacy? You're not like killing him in his crib. You're letting him.
No. Yeah, that would change. I don't know if that would change the dynamics of the war. I think you have to let the states secede first, elect Jefferson Davis, and then maybe let it go on a little until I don't know, Antietam or something, and then just kill him.
Okay.
That way, because the Confederacy would have still happened. The Confederacy would have happened without Jefferson Davis. He wasn't like a huge force in making the Confederacy happen. That was going on for decades, to try to get the South to secede. So those two people, I think, would be good people to have assassinated to help us in America. Okay. Would be King George III and Jefferson Davis, who, by the way, a little interesting tidbit about Jefferson Davis, when Richmond was seized, and Appomattox, the peace at Appomattox happened with Grant and Lee, Jefferson Davis fled to the Deep South to try to get away because he assumed rightfully so that we were going to capture him and kill him. And he dressed up as a woman, and which is like unheard of.
Yeah.
And tried to get away that way, and he was captured like by Union soldiers dressed as a woman.
That's embarrassing. That's
and we ended up letting him go. Like he ended up like not serving any time, like not doing, and wrote a book, like a really powerful, important book in the South about the rise and fall of the Confederacy. But I love that story about how he like tried to flee or whatever because, we probably should have killed him. And so the reason we didn't was because, Reconstruction, which lasted from 1865 to 1876, was like such a tumultuous time, and the South was occupied by Union troops, that we thought if we just kind of let the leadership just go, that maybe people wouldn't flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it didn't end up happening that way, because after the Union soldiers left, that was Jim Crow, and that was like a terrible time. So,
Which president started the presidential fitness test for kids in school?
I don't know, but I would assume it's probably Eisenhower. In that era.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Truman, Eisenhower.
Well,
Yeah, somewhere in there. Post World War II.
Now you know who I want to assassinate. Thank you, Chris.
Want to
Continues.
assassinate Dwight Eisenhower?
If it stops the presidential fitness test, sure.
Might not have beat the Nazis without Eisenhower.
Wow, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We would have probably gotten past them.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris Continues, for your topic of conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to see Colin conversate about? Let us know in the comments, then make sure you like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Colin, thank you for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, have a conversational day.